We Santo, Man Kolnyang, Mike, Chol Grangawan, Yupin, Luping Yarul Pandiri Shet Maniel, Anaketon Niel, Jilo, Wenetona Dol. I think kick Gabuka Gadivo by Anyalinya dear Kuika Pingrin Gemanalia, when I jangarong, I jedu Kagaparandi, Madina Maja, Kubo, Makur, Kagaboli, Kuai Tatian, Wagariding, Kagala, Emmanuel, whenever you go. I think kick Gabuka Gadivo by Anyalinya dear Kuika Pingrin Gemanalia, when I jangarong, I jedu Kagaparandi, Madina Maja, Kubo, Makur, Kagaboli, Kuai Tatian, Wagariding, Kagala, Emmanuel, whenever you go. I think kick Gabuka.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are tuning in. Welcome to Lagos State Media Beyond Boundaries. Today, Monday in Australia, and it's still Sunday, 22nd of January 2023. We have our guest today in our studio, Gogrial Diaspora Community Electoral Committee Secretary General Peter Mathon will come up to brief the public, especially the Gogrial community around the globe. So my brother Peter Mathon, welcome to Lagos State Media once again, and greet the audience.
Thank you so much, Brother Isaac Tingpol. This is really great. This is not my first time on this show. This is my third time, actually. And first and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much. What you have been doing and your team, Lagos State Media, is outstanding. It's something that we all should be proud of. And we greatly appreciate your service to the people of South Sudan and around the world. I believe it is 7 a.m. in Australia right now, and it is 2 p.m. here in Alberta, Canada. And for you to get up that early and you didn't even go to bed that late as well, you went to bed late, and to get up in the early morning as well, indicate that you are committed to serving your people. And if we don't appreciate you, I think God will appreciate you. So before I greet all the viewers and the members of Gogrial Diaspora Community Association, I just want to request to play Gogrial song, the song that I selected to you, so that my fellow brothers and sisters can come, and within the time while the song is playing, that more people can come so that they can listen to the message that I will be delivering at some point in the show. So if you can play that, please, that would be great. Thank you.
Ogamen, aye, banda, Gogrial, banda, kwala, quit, I walk not wood, pinum, I walk men by, man, aye, banda, Gogrial, now kwala, quit, I walk not wood, pinum, I men by. Ogamen, Gogrial, Alangirial, Vilgarial, Real, Veno, Gogrial, Alangirial, Miss Gariala, L'Oreal, Vinum. Aben. Oh, me the Garial. Why jet jam ye loy? Why jet jam ye jam? Banjino Sudan. Oh, me the Garial. Why jet jam ye loy? Why jet jam ye jam? Banjino Sudan. Napung pot. Chiloy, Banjino Sudan. Oh, me the Garial. Kauloyen Napung Quat Tilwell Banjano Sudan Kau mi the Garial Kaulwelen Napung Quat Atiloy Banjano Sudan Kau mi the Garial Kauloyen Napung Quat Tilwell Banjano Sudan Kau mi the Garial Kauwelen Gogrial Alangirial Mizigarial Alangirial Lubino Aben Majangin Marum Pachot the one we took to beware I might carry do that Gangrian we read a Yabung Diak we read Joseph and Yaguan Police Majangin is short we are a met to wait I want to I want to like I do I want to go la fall by and I like I do la fall away where I want to go la fall by and I like I do la fall away where Gogrial can man by Vandan Gidab, Gogrial can man by Vandan Gidab, Garial and a quad man to show, Gogrial one are what you ping them, come in to buy, who come in you Garial and a quad man to show, Gogrial one are what you ping them, come in to buy, who come in you and lay Venjar by Candy Water by Vandan Garial. Leventia, by Candy Water, oh my Vandan, Garial, Banka Piero, that by Uriala, Banka by Amir, Gariala, Banka Piero, that by Uriala, Banka by Amir, Garial, Banki Pig, Banki Ongar, Bind the Gear, Island, Jayaga Lake, you can get it, bind them one again, bind more Jayat, Jayat Lake. Mi ken chitiet banda kwanyin na kop jaye galej mi ken chitiet banda kwala met jaye galej mi ken chitiet banda mon ring jaye galej mi ken chitiet banda chani do banjan nyal jaye galej mi ken chitiet banda polishol jaye galej mi ken chitiet banda cherian banjer winni jaye led you me get it by the lamal by long you jaye galej you me get it by the we will jaye galej you me get it we ga ban get it ke ban you ya la ke ban ke by me gari la ke ban get it ke ban you ya la ke ban ke by me gari Galeri by Vanda, Galeri Jerpan Polani, then Gogrial Galeri by Vanda, Galeri Jerpan Polani, Najom and well Pinum Capolani, Kajaya Gamal and John, Gogrial Panda and Panpolani, Najom and well Lupina, Capolani, Kajaya Gamal and John, Gogrial Panda and Panpolani, Gogriala Quali Panwadi, Quala with. Gogriala quali per mati quala quina jomene yele pinum go for the nin kajaya gama entong Gogrial pan for the need Gogrial galeri by Vanda galeri pan for the need the wonder walkway a bung more pan for the need the wonder walkway a bung more pan for the need the wonder pulit a pungir galeri pan for the need the wonder pulit a pungir galeri pan for the need the wonder quaching quanyayok galeri pan for the need the wonder quaching quanyayok galeri pan for the need the wonder one chan galeri pan for the need the wonder one chan galeri pan for the need the wonder one more galeri pan for the need the wonder one more galeri pan for the need the wonder mayadi a twinkle galeri pan for the need the wonder mayadi a twinkle galeri pan for the need na jomene yale pinum go for the need ka jaya ka pendong go ya pan for the need Gogrial Ganiaman by Vandan Gidab, Gogrial Niar, Gogrial Ganiaman by Vandan Gidab, Garial and Aquaman Gito, Gogrial one are water pin, come in by Ugaman in Nube, Garial and Aquaman Gito, Gogrial one are water pin, come in by Ugaman in Nube, and lay Benjar by Candy Water by Vandan Garial. Benjar ban kandiru atero mai gandan karya ke kaban ke tielo kat ban yuria la ke ban ke kerbai bu amir karya la ke ban ke tielo kat ban yuria la ke ban ke kerbai bu amir karya bangiru ngar ban da ger gaile jaye gale mitir jitiet ban da mon kan ban mo jayat jaye le mitir jitiet ban da kwanyin akot jaye gale mitir jitiet ban da kolamet jaye le mitir jitiet ban da mon ring jaye gale mitir jitiet ban da chani do ban chan nyal jaye gale mitir jitiet ban da polishol jaye le mitir jitiet ban da cherian ban cherawin jaye le mitir jitiet ban da lamal ban lang ju jaye gale mitir jitiet ban da wi jayel jaye gale mitir jitiet ka ban ke tieto ke ban ya la ke ban ke ker ban mir karya la ke ban tieto ke ban ya la ke ban ke ker ban mir karya Gogrial one and one for the knee. Gogrial follow one for the knee. Gogrial one and one for the knee. Gogrial follow one for the knee. Gogrial galeri by Vanda, galeri jen pan for the knee. Then Gogrial galeri by Vanda, galeri jen pan for the knee. Na jom and well pinum go for the knee. The giant come and dong. Gogrial pan for the knee. Na jom and well pinum go for the knee. The giant come and dong. Gogrial pan for the knee. Gogrial quality pan madi quala with Goriala quali panamati, quala quina jomene, yellow pingum, Gapodanin, Kataya Gama and Tong, Gorial pan for the nin, Gorial Galeri by Vanda, Galeri pan for the nin, a wonder what way, a bung more, a lady pan for the nin, a wonder what way, a bung more, a lady pan for the nin, a wonder pulley, a pungir galeri pan for the nin, a wonder pulley, a pungir galeri pan for the nin, a wonder quite Panyayo, Kalirike Pan for the need, a wonder quite Panyayo, Kalirike Pan for the need, a wonder a one chan, Kalirike Pan for the need, a wonder a one chan, Kalirike Pan for the need, a wonder a one more, Kalirike Pan for the need, a wonder a one more, Kalirike Pan for the need, a wonder Mayadi, a twinkle, Kalirike Pan for the need, a wonder Mayadi, a twinkle, Kalirike Pan for the need, Najomene and then Pinum, go for the need, Kajaya Gamalong, Goria, Pan for the need, the young in a shot, I'm took you where, Mira met away. Police! One day, one for the need, Gorial Apollo, one for the need, Gorial, one day, one for the need, Gorial Apollo, one for the need, Gorial, one day, one for the need, Gorial Apollo, one for the need, Gorial, one day. Police! A young in my room, by shot. And a pan for the need, Gorial Apollo, one for the need. Gorial one and pan for the need. Gorial Apollo, one for the need. Gorial one and pan for the need.
Wow. Bravo. What a wonderful song. Beautiful.
It's okay.
Great, very great song. Welcome back to Lagos State Media, all our viewers. We are about to start the program. Everybody is allowed.
But they cannot hear you.
You just listen carefully and take the note from SG, Peter Mathon. Peter, the platform is yours. Take over. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother, and actually my uncle, Isaac Ting Paul. Once again, thank you so much for hosting me today. This is my third time coming on the Lagos State Media Show. And first and foremost, I just want to greet all the viewers around the world, here in diaspora and back home. I greet you all in the name of Jesus Christ. Today, I'm going to talk about Gogrial Diaspora Community Association. And it is an association that was created, like the process leading up to this association was started in 2021. And in June 2021, that's when we meet Gogrial in diaspora, and thus include Australia, Canada, USA, and some of the people in Europe. So we came together to brainstorm about how we can come together so that we can work together for our common good. And in that meeting, a constitutional drafting and electoral committee headed by Uncle Ambassador Mariano Dengor was elected. It was a committee composed of 7 people, and I was elected as the Secretary General of that committee. And we started doing our work. We drafted the Constitution, the Gogrial Diaspora Community Association Constitution, and on September 17 and September 18, 2022, that Constitution was ratified by the members of Gogrial in 4 regions. Probably not 4 regions because we didn't have people from Europe. We're still coordinating and working out mechanism to make sure that we also include them. But the members of Gogrial in Canada, USA, and Australia were in attendance, and I have the list of the people that attended the meeting. and the constitution that we drafted by the 7 committee that was elected in 2021. The members of our people, of our community, I mean, were happy, and they appreciate the work that we did, the constitution that we produced and delivered to them. They thought it was a starting point, and that it would actually form a foundation for even more excellent document to be produced or amended in the future. And on that basis, we started launching the registration, and the registration has been ongoing. And now I just want to update you how far we have gone with the registration of the members. As I speak to you today, we have registered 127 people within Canada, USA, and Australia. That is a great achievement so far, and we should be proud of that. All the people that I know and people that I didn't even know, they have registered, and that speaks volume to the cooperation that we are about to build. This is important. We all have issues. We all have personal commitments, but to come together to shoulder this responsibility so that we can actually move forward and do something better for our community is far more important than just trying to be committed to your own personal issues. So we can do both. We can do our personal commitments, and we can also do the commitment for the community. And so this document has taken our time. We invested so much time in it, and even the process of registering people, it has also taken time. And I will not regret any minute of it, because I enjoy it, like our people to come together so that we are united to do something better for ourselves and for our people. The summary of the main objectives of this association is first to unite ourselves here in diaspora as Gogrial, so that we know each other, so that we can coordinate all our activities and help each other out. By doing that, we are thinking about some of the programs that we could do here. And I can take an example here in Canada. We do have a lot of issues that are facing our kids because now it has been quite some time since we came to Canada. Most of the people came to Canada back in 2001 and even 1990 something. And so those people, they have kids, and the kids are now turning into 18, 20 years, even more. And they are ending up on the street doing drugs and all that. And because they don't have any support, there's no meaningful support at home. Probably most of the kids are from the broken families, and they need support. And so even the governments of Canada, especially the local, like the Alberta governments, the Ontario governments, all the provinces here in Canada, they are asking the South Sudanese people, like, how can we help you? How can we make sure that your kids do not end up on the street and being killed by the police? It's something that would need all of us to come together. And something like this can help with that, because if we have this strong association, then we should come and brainstorm and approach the government of that particular country. How can we get the resources to train our youth so that we can have what we call the youth training program? We can also buy centers where we can train our kids, buy some computers and basketball and all that, and then actually train them. We also want to make sure that we keep our culture, and we can also teach them about cultural activities so that our culture is alive. Because here in Canada, and that the same to Australia and USA and Europe, multicultural system is allowed. And so every ethnic community can maintain their own culture. And these are some of the objectives that we have in our association. We can also train our youth, because through this kind of association, we are able to train ourselves so that we can be future leaders. You are born with the talent, but if that talent is not harnessed, then you can die with it. And so all of us, how smart you are, how clever you are, we all need to come together and support each other. Otherwise, your smartness or your skills will not be recognized and will not come to use if we don't come together. And so I'm just setting Canada as an example, and that's the same thing that we have even in Australia. Our kids have the same issues. So we are saying that as Gogrial in diaspora, we need to come together. We need to do something good for ourselves. And once we come together, the world will open up. We would partner with the local governments, the federal governments of these member countries, Australia, Canada, and USA. And then we can actually request and ask for resources to finance all the program that we have, and that we will actually put together the projects, thing that will help our people. This is the main reason. We got to be having elders too, people that are retiring and they need care. And with this, we can do something for them so that our people that are becoming elderly can be taken care of. And once we are strong, once we are established and we have funds, we have the programs, we are taking care of ourselves, our weak people, people that need help, then we actually come together and do something back home. Because all of us, we are, even if we sleep here, we stay here, we all want to go back home. South Sudan is our home. And no matter how good it is to stay anywhere you are, we still dream to be back home because that's where we have our roots. We have our relatives. We have our friends. We have our own people back home, and they are suffering. And even if we are successful here, our success should also multiply to go to our people back home. And that is important. And so we cannot help anything back home if we don't help ourselves here, if we don't unite ourselves here. And unity is not easy. It comes with a lot of commitment, a lot of sacrifice for it to come and for it to realize something meaningful and credible for our people. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is the main reason why we came up to form this association. In the objectives, we also have a mechanism where we can invest in some of the programs back home, and if that happens, it will be beneficial to our people back home as well. And that that window, I mean, will be facilitated by the leaders that we will be electing in the coming weeks or the coming months into this association. And so far now we have 127 people. We have launched the application process. We want people that want to serve the community to apply for various positions. And I am going to read out those positions that are under this constitution of GDCA. GDCA is an abbreviation of Gogrial Diaspora Community Association. And so before I read out the positions that we would request all the interested members of Gogrial Diaspora Community Association to apply for, I just want to conclude the registration process by acknowledging some of the people that have done what we call above and beyond. That is not to say the other people that have paid $10 for registration have not done something good as well. We recognize your contribution, we appreciate it. But it's even important to recognize people that have done more than what has been asked. And those people, I think I recognize some of them in my second show that I did in December. And it is worth mentioning that I can still recognize the names today so that other people that are watching can also hear. The reason I'm doing this is to encourage that kind of commitment and that kind of a spirit to prevail in our community. The first person is Malong Lukabak. Malong Lukabak is a son of Lukabak, in Gogrial. So if you are from Gogrial, you should recognize his name or his dad name. And from what I heard, his dad is a great person. He was a great teacher. And I think I know Malok personally. He's also a leader. He's a community servant. Is a person that is committed to seeing Gogrial succeed. Malok has paid 200 Canadian dollars. And out of those $280 is for his registration fee and his wife, and also the annual fee. So the annual fee is $30 in the currency of the country that you live in. And so the registration fee is $10 in the currency of the country that you live in. And so Malok paid $80. So 40 for him, 40 for his wife, that's $80. And then out of 200, the balance is 120. 120 is a donation to Gogrial Diaspora Community Association. Thank you so much, Malong Lukabak, for doing that. The second person is Wananya Longar. Wananyar is also another statement. Is a person that loves to do something good for his community, for his people. His records can speak for itself, and people who know him, they can attest to that. I haven't met Wananyar in person, but I just see him online, and we talk on the phone, but I haven't met him. And Wananyar has paid $240. $240 is the US dollars. And out of that, he has paid 180 for 6 years. Because 1 year is $30, and 6 years time is 30 is $180. And then he has applied for the position of the Secretary of Youth and Education, Youth, Sport, and Education. And there's a fee for that position, which is $50 in the currency of the country that you live in. So he has paid $50 for that position because he's running to be the Secretary of Youth, Sport, and Education in the GDCA. And then also there's $10 for his registration fee. So if you add up, you do the math, it adds up to $240. Thank you so much, Wananya. The third person is Uncle Marco Malenquat. Malenquat lives in Australia. He has paid $100. $10 for registration and $90 for 3 years membership. That is the currency of Australia. So Uncle Malek is also one of the people that is also involved in helping people that need help. And we appreciate his contribution to GDCA. The fourth person is Moses Mumtik. Moses Mumtik is my uncle. And he has paid $100. He's also another devoted individual that like to see community to succeed. And so $10 is for registration fee and $90 is for 3 years membership. Thank you so much, Uncle Mumtik. Number 5 is Yang Aye Yak. Yang Aye Yak lives in USA, and he has paid $100 as well. $10 for registration fee and $90 for 3 years membership. Thank you so much, Brother Yang Aye. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Denga Biem, Denga Bumding. And please forgive me if I didn't get your name correctly. I don't know you personally, but the name that was given to me is Dr. Denga Bumding. If that is your name, then that's fine. If not, then please forgive me on that. But Dr. Denga Biem and his wife, Natalina Achinkoch Makwet, they have paid totally 320 Australian dollars. $320. From what I was told, $80 is for registration fee and 1 year membership. So $40 for his wife, $40 for him. So registration fee at $10, $30 for 1 year. And then $240 is a donation to Gogrial Diaspora Community Association. Dr. Deng Abiam is a professional doctor in Australia. That's what I heard from people that know him. I don't know him personally, but I greatly appreciate the initiative and the contribution that they have done, him and his wife. This is the spirit that we need to move this community and this association forward. We need that spirit. And if we have those great minds going back to our country, I think they can do better. They can do something that will actually make change and meaningful change in the lives of our people. And so thank you so much on behalf of GDCA committee headed by Uncle Mariano Dengor. I just want to say thank you so much, all the people that have contributed this amount. And that is not to say the rest of the people that have paid what has been asked, which is a $10 for the registration fee or even 1 year, your contribution is also great and is also recognized. Thank you so much. Now I move to the next step, which is the position that we have under the GDCA. And so I'm going to announce together because as a way to raise some money for our association, because this is a new association, we also put in the constitution that the people that will be contesting in various positions, there's going to be some fee that you pay for that position. This fee again is to make sure that we have something for our association to start running. And so far, the registration, we have collected, a good amount of money in U.S., Canada, Australia. So that is good. Thank you so much to all of you. But we still need to make sure that we have funds. And so that's why we dropped that into the Constitution, and it was also passed when the Constitution was ratified in September 2022. And so those fees, they were designed to correspond with the position that you will be running for. And so I'm going to be reading out both the position and the fee for that position. So we have three branches or organs, however you want to call it, but we use the term organ in the Constitution. So meaning branches. In U.S. system is branch. There's a branch justice and also the Senate, the Congress, and all that. All of it is like the executive is a branch. And so here we use the organ. So we have three organs under the GDCA. We have the executive. It has 17 positions. We have the board of directors. It has 9 positions. We have the electoral committee. It has 7 positions. And so with those positions, there's also fees. Some fees are a little more than the other one. Others are the same. So I'm going to read those one out. And so you can bear with me. I will start with the executive committee, which is the 17 positions. And again, I did mail out this a couple of days ago. And so for those that I have their emails, I have already emailed out this list that has the positions, the fees, and the form that you can fill out when you are applying. So starting with the executive committee, the first person that's going to be leading this committee, the executive, is chairperson. The chairperson is required to pay $100, and that should be in the currency of the country that you live in. So if I live in Canada, I will pay 100 Canadian dollars. The second person is the deputy chairperson. That deputy chairperson will pay $80. So you can see The chairperson is $100. The deputy chairperson is $80. And then number 3, secretary general, $70. So, and then number 4, assistant secretary general, $50. And then number 5, secretary of finance, $60. And then number 6, assistant secretary of finance, $50. Number 7, assistant secretary of finance, $50. And I just want to emphasize that we do have 3 individuals running the finance docket. So we're going to be having the head, which is the secretary of finance, and 2 assistant secretaries of finance. The logic behind that is to make sure that if the secretary of finance comes from USA, then the other 2 assistants will come from Canada and Australia. Because at this point, Europe membership is still minimal, and we're still working to make sure that we have our brothers and sisters joining this association from Europe. But in the meantime, that's how the constitution has been designed, and that's how it was passed. So, so I was at number 7, which is the second assistant secretary of finance, $50. Number 8, secretary of reconciliation and community relations, $50. Number 9, assistant secretary of reconciliation and community relations, $50. Number 10, secretary of information, communication and culture, $50. Number 11, assistant secretary of information, communication and culture, $50. Number 12, secretary of membership and mobilization, $50. Number 13, assistant secretary of membership and mobilization, $50. Number 14, secretary of women affairs and social welfare, $50. Number 15, assistant secretary of women affairs and social welfare, $50. Number 16, secretary of youth, sport and education, $50. Number 17, and that's the last number, assistant secretary of youth, sport and education, $50. Ladies and gentlemen, those are the positions that we have under the executive committee. We have about 17 positions, and out of those, 2 people have already applied in those positions. So I'm not going to tell you. I think the only person that I mentioned, his name is the one that also contributed a good amount of money. But the other person, I'm not going to tell you right now. And the rest of the people, I should not be announcing the names of the people right now, because that will come later when all the people have applied, and then the committee will sit, and then they will review the people that have applied, and then we will do shortlisting. So that will come after the application deadline is over. And so right now I can say there's a couple people that have already applied in a different positions, but I'm not going to say their names other than the one that I said his name, and there was a reason. It wasn't meant because I want to disclose that he has applied, but it was meant because what he has done in terms of contribution. So in the executive, we have 2 people, they have applied already, and we are requesting the rest to do so. Please, if you feel that you have the skills and you want to serve your people, your association, please do so as soon as you can. So the application process is now officially opened, and you can submit your application to myself. I did send out the form that you can fill out, and that form, if you didn't get it, just send me your email through that email that my brother Isaac has just displayed, and then I will send you the form, and then you can apply. So the second organ under the GDCA is the board of directors. The board of directors, we have 9. So the first one is the director of the board. The fee associated with that position is $90. Second, assistant director of the board, $80. Third, secretary of the board, $70. Fourth, assistant secretary of the board, $50. Fifth, auditor of the board, $60. Sixth, assistant auditor of the board, $50. Seventh, assistant auditor of the board, $50. Eight, information officer of the board, $50. Nine, and that is the last one, assistant information officer of the board, $50. So again, as you have seen, we do have 3 people in the board of directors, and we give them the title of being auditors. So these people will be the one to do the audit, and so they will request the financial statement from the executive committee, especially from the finance docket. Then they can review the financial statements, and so they will see how much was collected, how much was spent, and if they feel they want to see whether or not the association funds have been used in a way that is being recommended and directed by the Constitution, then they will perform audit, and then they will be requesting supporting documentation, what we call the receipts, like invoice payments, um, receipts for the money, any supporting documentation that will support Mr. X has donated this amount or has contributed this amount, or that we earned this amount of money from fundraising or something like that, and that we spend this amount of money, and then you can actually prove this is exactly how it was spent, and also to determine whether the amount that was spent was actually authorized. So I will get into that in a minute after I'm done with this. I want to kind of briefly walk you through the financial provision that we have under the Constitution, and that will have to be followed. It must be followed because finances is everything. And if you don't get the finances right, then everything is in shambles. And so we don't want that. So we need to get this association going, and we need to make sure that we are strict. We need to follow what we need to do what we say. We follow the Constitution that we approved, and it must be followed. So I'm going to go to the last organ of the GDCA, which is the Electoral Committee. So it has 7 positions. First is the Chief Electoral Committee. The fee associated with that position is $60. Second, Assistant Chief of Electoral Committee, $50. Third, Secretary of Electoral Committee, $40. Fourth, Assistant Secretary of Electoral Committee, $40. Fifth, Information Officer of Electoral Committee, $40. Sixth, Assistant Information Officer of Electoral Committee, $40. And then 7, and that is the last, advisor to Electoral Committee, $40. I just want to mention that within the board, there's one person that has already applied for a position of his choice. And also in the Electoral Committee, there's one person that has already also applied for a position of his choice. As I said, I'm not going to tell you the names, and the names will be shortlisted officially after the application deadline has closed and after the committee has met and review the names of the people that have applied. And so once again, I'm requesting those who are interested, those who want to help and to serve our people, to please come forward and apply. When we met as a committee under Ambassador Mariano Dengor on the 15th of January, we all agreed that if there is a committee member, electoral committee member that wants to contest for any position of his choice or her choice, is welcome. And those or that individual, they have been released officially to go and do the campaigns and apply for whatever position that they want to serve in the GDCA. I myself, I'm not running. I just want to do this work. I just want to be in the work that the people of Gogrial in diaspora trusted me to do, and that is being secretary of this electoral committee. And so once this work is done, we will officially, under the leadership of Ambassador Mariano Dengor, we will officially hand over the documents to the incoming executive. And the incoming executive will take it from here, and then they will go. Now, the application process is for 1 month, effective January 15, 2023. So we have a 1 month for you, ladies and gentlemen, to submit your application in. We have also extended the registration period to another 1 month. And so once the application is officially over and the window for that application closes, then also we will suspend the registration so that the people that we have will be the one to vote in the election. And we will elect all the 3 organs under the GDCA. We will elect people into those various positions. And so we want you to submit your application in a position that you feel you can serve your people better, a position that you feel you can do it. And I just want to emphasize something here. I said it last time and I want to repeat it again. We want, and I believe all of you, all of us, we want to have quality leaders. Quality should supersede any other provision that we have under the Constitution. I don't want you to elect me just because I am friend to you or because I am related to you. I want you to elect me because you see I am capable of doing something in that position. Please, we need to start right now. Friendship will come later. Relationship will come later. But first is the capability, is the competence, is the qualifications. But qualifications is fine. Like, you are not born qualified to do something. You learn, you get trained. We want people that are ready to learn and willing to learn and ready to listen and ready to work with people in a team. So quality supersedes any other provision that we have under this Constitution. And so if you have not registered and you want to register, the window is still there. You can submit your registration, give the fee to the people that we already designated. In Australia, we have Uncle Ambassador Mariano Dengor. In Canada, it's myself. USA, we have Uncle Paulo D. Aleo, and also Brother Chola Koratem. So those are the people. And also for the application fee, the same. So if you are in US and you want to apply, give your fee to either Brother Chola Kut or Paulo D. Aleo. And then you can let me know, send the application form to me that is filled with the information that are on the form. If you haven't found that form, just let me know through that email that you saw on the show already. I think those are the few points that I want to make there. So the next thing that I would want to come to brief you about is actually the need to emphasize the principles, the values. And so the values that we have under the Constitution, and please, if you have not read or you haven't got the Constitution already, let me know and I will provide it to you. But there are core values that we take dearly and we take to heart, and we want our members, our incoming leaders, our potential leaders to please take note of that and live by them. The values that we have under the GDCA would also equally supersede other provision that we have. And so that is important. The second also is a provision that we have under the Constitution, and that is we need to equally distribute the key position, and the key position that we identify are the chairperson, the deputy secretary general, and the secretary of finance. So we need to make sure that the 3 member countries for now, because we don't have people from Europe yet, that they are well represented in the association. We did this for a reason, and that is to motivate all the members from different countries. So people in Australia should feel that they have a person that is also in the GDCA holding a key position. And people in Canada and the US should feel the same. Now, with that being said, the quality of the leaders from each country supersede that provision. So, for example, in Canada, if we don't have a person or people that can really fit in those 4 key positions, then we are not going to put Mathon Achuoth in just for the sake because he's from Canada. While people know deep in their heart that I will not be able to do the work, it's not good. So if we have our brothers in Australia or in USA and they are capable of doing of what we all want, the objective that I outlined earlier, then please, we should give those brothers and sisters a chance to lead us. And next time, probably we will have a qualified person in Canada. But if we have qualified, competent, quality leaders in Canada and also in USA and Australia, then we should be mindful of that provision so that we allocate those positions fairly. Second, and it is not in the Constitution, we need to maintain diversity also. Diversity is important. And what I mean by that, Gogrial back home, we have sections. We have a Puk, a Guag, Quach, and a one Mao, and one Shan. So we have those. And we still recognize those even here in diaspora too, because we're still part of that recognition as well. That part of how it was divided, how it was named back in the day, we don't know. I was born in a Puk, and other brothers were born in the other communities. And so for this GDCA to look like it belongs to all of us, we need diversity to prevail. And so with that, we encourage people from Quach to apply. We encourage people from Aguak to apply. We encourage people from Awan, both Awen, to apply. And we encourage people from Apuk to apply. We don't want one section dominating the whole thing, because this is our opportunity. This is the work of all of us. It should not only be left to me alone. It should be all of us. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, I think the time is changing. And so the mindset that we have, because I still know, and I think you all will agree with me, that we still have the sectarian mindset. And that sectarian mindset dictate that I want to elect a person from that relate to me, or that is a friend to me, or that is from my section. I just want to appeal to you to please put first you being a son or a daughter of Gogrial. Gogrial first should come first before any other section within Gogrial. And so you look at the leaders based on their competence, their qualifications, and what they can bring to the table, what they can do to promote the objectives that we laid out in the Constitution. Not friendship, not relationship. Skills, merit-based relationship. If we do that, it doesn't mean I hate my brother. I like him. I love him. I love my brother, my friends, all people. I love them. But we have to be honest to tell our brothers and sisters that I don't think you can do this position. I think this position you can do it, but you can learn. You can train. Next time you will do it. This position maybe you will not. You are not able to do it today, but next time you can do it. You can do anything that you put your mind to. If we do that, we will be able to elect the right leaders. So let's be mindful of the diversity and let us try to run away from this sectarian mindset and thinking, because it's not going to take us anywhere. As Mana Apuk, I think Apuk is smaller for me. I want my brothers from Kwach, from Aguak, from Awan. And even Gogrial is also smaller for us. We want our brothers and sisters within Warab and Bahr al Ghazal and also Junub Sudan. So if we embrace that, I think we can do better. We can go ahead and we can actually embrace each other. So let us be mindful of that. With that being said, again, quality of the leaders supersede the diversity as well. And so if a PUC doesn't have a person that is competent to be chairperson, then you don't elect a person that will not do what we want in our constitution just because Midapuk are the majority, or Midagok are the majority in the association, or Midquech are the majority. No. So we need to discourage that thinking. And so for any section, if you feel, oh, maybe we are minority and the other section is majority, so why should we even bother to go? Please, I just want to discourage you from that thinking from right now, because what we are doing is going to be fair for everyone. The majority rule will not be the one dictating, it's what is right. Even the majority, if they are wrong, they will be told this is not right. And the constitution will be the one leading. So the constitution we produce is actually a good document. So you can read it. It's good. And that will take me, and I just want to bear with me, please, if it has been 1 hour, but this is important because I want our viewers to know back home and also in diaspora to know the work that we are doing. We are not putting our time just for the show. No, because we have other things that we are doing. But we are doing this because we were trusted to do this by our people. And on behalf of the committee and at the direction of our chairperson, our chairman of the committee, Ambassador Mariano Dengor, he directed me to emphasize this issue, the issue of maintaining quality in the constitution, of electing good leaders that will advance the objectives, the programs, and the projects of this association. He also emphasized the need to observe the values and the principles of this constitution. And to everyone, please, we know we are busy, find time to read the constitution. And if you don't have it, reach out to me, I will send it to you. That will bring me to, and that should be the last point, is the financial provision that we have under the Constitution. And the financial provision that we have under the Constitution is very important. And I just want to go to that section right now so that I can briefly read a couple of things. And before that, I just want to also say the tenure, which is the term for the executive, is 3 years. The term for the board of directors is 3 years and 4 months, meaning that if the term of the executive expired in, let's say, in April, then 4 years after April, the term of the board will expire. And the term for the electoral committee is 4 years. So there's a reasoning for that. And when you read the Constitution, you will understand why we designed it that way. We want to make sure that there's no constitutional crisis where the two main organs elapse, their term expired, and then the association is left with no one running. We also want to make sure that the electoral committee is elected after the other two main organs are already elected. That's why we give them 4 years. So the electoral committee has 4 years, but the rest, they have 3 years, 3 years and 4 months. Now, let me go to the financial provision under the Constitution. So it is Article 9, and then we have section like section 1 up to section up to 11. And so you can read the rest, but I'm just gonna pick some of the important sections that I just want to kind of bring to your attention. So section 1 is the fiscal year end is okay. And section 2 is the accounting policies. You can read that. Section 3 is commandments of the operations of the GDCA. You can read that. Section 4 is the annual budget. So I just want to read, it's a short and brief. Annual budget is defined as a spending plan based on estimated income and expenses. The executive committee, in coordination with the board of directors, shall be responsible for creating an annual budget of GDCA. The annual budget shall provide estimated amount of revenues and expenses for the next fiscal year. Once the budget is completed, it shall be presented to the General Assembly members for ratification at the AGAM meeting each year. The AGAM is a general, is the annual General Assembly meeting that will be done every year. So, and you will see that under the meetings articles. So you will see that one being explained in details. So section 5 is the asset. So you can read that. I don't expect everyone to understand those because that is, those who have financial background will be able to understand that. Those who don't, that's fine. It can be explained if you need further clarification on that. Section 5.1 is the liabilities, which are the debt. Again, it is there, but if you need help, we can provide further explanation on those. Section 6 is revenues. And so for the revenues, those going to be the main ones. So revenues are defined as increases in economic resources, either by a way of inflows or enhancement of assets or deductions of liabilities resulting from the ordinary activities of an entity. The executive committee and the board of directors are tasked to find ways to generate and mobilize revenues for funding of the association's strategic objectives. A few ways in which GDCA shall generate its revenues are listed but not limited to the following sources. Membership registration fee, and we have already collected those. Membership contributions, which is the annually contribution, we have collected some. And then public donations, some that are doing donation. For example, some of the members have already donated, and maybe some other people that are not members can even donate. Individual donations, and then fundraising. Fundraising funds is also important. It's one way of generating revenues, and grants from local government, and then gifts and gift in kind. Under section 6.1, we have expenses, and then 6.2, we have program expenses. They are being explained. 6.3, we have administrative expenses, and we have 6.4, fundraising expenses. So you can read those one on your own. But the section that I want to bring to your attention is section 9.6.5, subsection 9.6.5, and that is financial management. The Secretary for Finance and 2 Assistant Secretaries of Finance shall oversee management of the association finances. In essence, both Secretary and the 2 assistants shall oversee collection of money from members and generous givers from member countries. This would mean that if the Secretary of Finance comes from one of the member countries, the other 2 assistants must come from other remaining member countries. This is to ensure that there is at least one finance person in each member country to collect the money from the members and generous givers. All the assistant secretaries must report directly to the Secretary of Finance. So the financial management of this GDCA association is in the hands of the Secretary of Finance and the 2 assistants. And then even further, the overall is the chairperson of the executive and also the board. These are the 2 organs, and these are the 2 key organs that are responsible, but directly the person that will be dealing with money collecting and storing and all that is the Secretary for Finance and the 2 assistants. Section 9.7 is the association bank account. The association shall open the bank account for the association immediately upon its registration with the government. The association must be registered and incorporated in the member country where association registered head office is situated. So if this association, and I think we have it in the Constitution, there is a provision that the registered head office will be based in Australia. And so once it is registered, then the association bank account should be opened immediately with the bank that the executive committee determined to be appropriate bank to open the GDCA bank account with. Now there is a provision, as I said, in the Constitution that talk about the registered head office and the office for the operation, which is the head office. So the head office rotates with the chairperson, a position. So if the chairperson comes from Canada, then the head office is in Canada. And so everything for the duration of 3 years, Canada will be the head office for the GDCA. And so if there is AGM, it can be done in Canada where the chairperson is. And then next, when the chairperson goes to US, the same does. Then the office rotate to US. But the registered head office is permanent. And so that's going to be based in Australia. So I just want to make that one clear. And so with the association bank account, the association shall open the bank account for the association immediately upon its registration with the government. The association must be registered and incorporated in the member country where association registered head office is situated. Upon official opening of the association bank account, all the money of the association must be repatriated and deposited into the association bank account. The Secretary of Finance and 2 Assistants of Finance must distribute the bank account number to all members and direct the members to directly deposit their membership contributions and any money destined for the association ownership. The association must attempt to discourage a cash transaction wherever and whenever possible, except in the instances of fundraising events that might see cash exchanging hands. This is important. So once the bank account is open, we want all the money to be deposited directly into the bank account. And so putting the money in is easy, but taking it out, we have restricted that one to be based on verifiable procedures, and is coming next. Section 9.8, signing authority. The chairperson, Secretary General, and the Secretary of Finance shall be designated to have a signing authority for the association bank account. In accordance with this policy, there shall be no withdrawal from the association bank account without official signatures of these three individuals thereof. The person with signing authority are strictly required to follow disbursement procedures to avoid any unauthorized withdrawal of the money from the association bank account. This is another important for any association. When you open a business account, you have to have a signing authority. And so those three individuals, the chairperson, the secretary general, and the secretary of finance, those are the three principal people that have the signing authority to withdraw the money from the bank. And so there's also a process to approve and authorize those money before they go and withdraw the money. They cannot just meet and withdraw the money. Otherwise, it will be considered as unauthorized, illegal. And then the Constitution will question how the money was withdrawn. So Section 9.9, disbursement procedures, how you disburse or how you release the money, how you take the money out. The chairperson and the entire executive committee shall be tasked with the responsibility to ensure that only the legitimate monies are paid out of the association bank account. The legitimate monies are monies that have been appropriately approved and authorized to be paid out, and all the approval, authorization, and disbursement documents must be kept for records and to be used in future reference. The General Assembly shall have the supreme authority to approve and authorize monies to funds, association, major projects, emergency assistance, or any assistance or project that the General Assembly deems to be in the best interest of the association. That can be even clearer. This is the premise of everything. The General Assembly and the General Assembly is the 127 plus people that have registered so far at the General Assembly. If you are not on those in the list and you haven't registered, you are not a member of this General Assembly. You have to register to be a member, and the General Assembly shall have the supreme authority to approve and authorize monies to fund association major projects, emergency assistance, or any assistance or project that the General Assembly deems to be in the best interest of the association. Now, we have attempted to define what an emergency assistance is so that we don't just say, well, this is an emergency. So if we just say emergency, then everything will be emergency. So we try to kind of attempt to narrow it down. But again, the General Assembly will have supreme power to look at what that emergency is. An emergency assistance shall mean aid provided in the event of a situation that creates an imminent risk of serious harm to the health or safety of the person if he or she is not helped immediately. That's how we define the emergency assistant. And again, the General Assembly will have the ultimate power. The chairperson has the authority to approve and authorize up to a maximum of $500 to be spent on association-related activities within a single fiscal year without requiring General Assembly approval. This means the chairperson would hold some meetings, and that would need maybe some water or some beverages or something, and so we don't want to, or maybe buy some papers or something like that. And those kind of special needs before the meeting comes, the chairperson should have the power to authorize any money ranging from 0 up to 500. If what needs money is more than 500, then the chairperson is required to consult the General Assembly for approval for that money. Any money approved and authorized up to a maximum of $500 must be included in the financial reports detailing how the money was spent. We also need to know, just because you are given the authority to approve 500, you still need to document that, what was it spent on, and etc. However, Any amount greater than 500 within a single fiscal year cannot be approved and authorized by the chairperson without General Assembly approval. Both General Secretary and Finance Secretariats must document any amount authorized either by chairperson or General Assembly in their records. So we want General Secretary and the finance docket to make sure that they maintain their records in relation to the monies being authorized to be spent or not authorized and canceled, all the records for any further reference. Any approved and authorized money must be paid out of the association bank account by way of withdrawal slip and or checks. So under the financial system, we do have what we call the withdrawal slip. It's a slip that is designed to put the bank name and then the association name, and then you put how much you want to withdraw, and then the people that have the signing authority can sign, and that can be considered as a legitimate paper by the bank, and the bank will verify the signatures and a lot of things. So there's a lot of verification that will go on to make sure that this is actually legitimate. It is not faked. It will be done. And within the Western system, financial system is very strong. So that has to be followed or checks. And that will also be done when the bank account is opened. The executive will look into that to see what is acceptable, what are the appropriate way of withdrawing money that the bank, that particular bank, has at its disposal. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, there must be 3 signatures of the authorized signatories on the withdrawal slip and or checks for that withdrawal to be considered valid and authentic. And then section 9.2, please bear with me, I'm almost done, is concerning borrowings. GDCA as an association has a legal right to borrow money from third parties or lend money to other parties. And this transaction must be in the best interest of the association. Under borrowing provision, borrowing monies from third parties or lending association monies to third parties is prohibited, which means is not allowed. If there is a need to borrow money or lend association money, the executive committee under this provision is required to convene a special general assembly meeting to seek for approval and authorization from members before entering any borrowing and or lending agreements with third parties. General Assembly is everything here, has the supreme power for big major decision to be made. In other words, the executive committee or board of directors shall have no authority to borrow money or lend money to third parties without express approval from the General Assembly. The final section is section 9.11, which is the financial reporting requirements. The Secretary of Finance and the 2 assistant secretaries are required under this financial provision to keep accounting records, produce financial statements, and provide detailed financial information to the board of directors for audit completion. The accounting records shall include, but not limited to, donation receipts, checks, payment vouchers, expenses invoices, e-transfers receipts, etc. These documents are key in financial reporting requirements because they provide evidence of money trail, and as such, the executive committee and especially the secretary and assistant of finance must ensure these documents are kept in safe place. These documents must be availed to the board of directors or any other relevant committee unless otherwise authorized upon request to complete the audit of the executive committee management of the association finances. The Secretary of Finance and 2 assistant secretaries of finance are required to prepare and present financial reports, financial statement reports to the General Assembly during both AGAM and regular General Assembly meeting. This financial statement report must cover balance sheet, which is asset and liabilities, if there are any, and income statement, which is revenues and expenses. Both finance personnel must be prepared to answer questions from members at the General Assembly meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the financial. That is the financial statement, that the financial provision that we have under the GDCA. And again, I would encourage you to go and read for yourself. That brings me to the end of my presentation. I apologize if it has taken long, but again, I just want to recognize my brothers and sisters from Lake State Media for, again, outstanding and extraordinary work that they are doing, not to only us, but to the rest of the people that want to pass information to their respective audience. Thank you, my uncle, my brother, Isaac Tiengpol, for staying up early in the morning to host me. I also want to thank the viewers, all the members of Gogrial Diaspora Community Association, and all with Gogrial. Even if you are not a member of this association, I still want to thank you for the opportunity to come and listen to what I just concluded. I also want to thank our brothers and sisters back home, those who have found time to tune in also to listen, and those who will find time to listen to this. I wrote the section of the financial provision myself. I just want to say I am an accountant by profession, and I said this the other time. I have a diploma in accounting, and I also have a degree in accounting. And I have worked in accounting since 2016 here in Canada. And so I have about 7 years of accounting experience. So I have done financial statements, have done what we call bookkeeping. I know what it means to like credits and debits. And I know when the financial statement is not reconciled, and I can tell if something is wrong or if something is good. For now, I am like a senior accountant. I also do audits and review engagements. Currently, I'm a senior auditor, and I review the financial statements of other companies and then issue a report. That report can be used by the bank to borrow the loan from the bank. And so I know this. I know I have knowledge and I have experience. That is not to boast around. That is to tell you this is my area. I know this. And if you have any question, you can feel free to let me know. And then I can help where I can help. And that go back to the point that I made earlier, that we are not doing this. We are not doing this for a show. I'm not doing this one for a show. It's a reason because I should be doing something tangible and beneficial to myself. Time is money, especially in our accounting world. We are being paid on time, on hourly basis. It's time that you spend on the file is the time that you're being paid. And so I know how valuable time is. And that's why I cannot stop thanking my brother Isaac Tiengpol, because I also know how valuable the time is for him to get up at 7 just to be sitting here to listen to me like 1 hour and a half. you know I really feel sorry for him,
It's
and
all
I
right.
just say God will reward you,
Thank you.
and there will be a time where we will come together and work on something together. And if there's something also I can do, something that I'm capable that I can do, I would also pay back, because I understand that in the West here, time is money. We don't waste time just for simple things. So this is important. And I want to thank my colleagues in the committee, my uncle, Ambassador Mariano Dengor, for devoting his time at the age he is. He's an elder and he has other personal commitment, but he has found time to make sure that he see Gogrial coming together. That's what an elder can do, and that is great. I appreciate that, and I hope every one of you should appreciate that. Also, want to thank Uncle Kudiring. He's also an elder. He's also on the committee. He's a devoted servant, and people know him. So Kudiring Ayok is not a person that is, a secret. So most of the people know him and his work. My uncle again, Paulo Dialeu, he lives in U.S. He's also a committed community servant. Thank you so much. And my brother Chola Kodatem, he has helped a lot. He's also committed, and thank you. And we also have our mama Amira York. She's not in diaspora yet. She's not in USA. She's still back home. We also want to thank her in her absentia. And then finally, my sister Wundengatian, she's on the committee, and she's also committed to seeing this community come together so that we are united as Gogrial in diaspora. So my last appeal is that please start applying. Those who are interested, I have read out the position, and if you want the form, I will send you the form so that you can apply. To those who will find themselves competing in various or in one position, please make sure this is not a competition that is meant to be creating hatred among ourselves. It should be a healthy competition. All we want is ideas. And as I said last time, we need to start right now to be thinking about the ideas. What do you have to offer on the table? What can you offer to your people? And we not just be saying things. We have to say it, and we have to do it. We have to show it. Otherwise, then it has no meaning. And so, not because I want to be, thanking people or appreciating people, but if someone has done something good, something that really goes into my heart, and something that if I am in his position, I can do it like the way he's doing it, I always like to bring it up. And that's why I when I come to this show, I just always feel to appreciate our able governor, Honorable Rini Mabor. Because yesterday I was watching a show that was being hosted by my uncle Isaac Tiengpol, and governor was emphasizing about the need to send kids to school. All kids should go to school, and the girls should not be forced to get married. That is far more important point, and I would hope all our elected leaders or our appointed leaders or whoever in power, please let's try to echo that and do something good for our country. We are all proud of our country, and sometimes we can rub our feathers, we can rub our heads. It's not because we hate each other, it's because we want something good for our country. That's all we want. And sometimes we become victim of saying things that maybe our elders might not like. We don't hate each other. I don't hate anyone. I love everyone. But all we want is something good for all of us, not just only a few individuals. I think that's the thing. And right now, when we see good thing in Australia, in Canada, and USA, and other parts, they didn't drop from heaven. They did all the things that they have. So why not us? We can do them. I think we know why we are not going where we want to go. And if we really pay attention to that and stop blaming other people for our own issues, then I think we can go somewhere. So I don't want to get into politics. I just want to stay into our agenda, and that is uniting our people in diaspora here. And once we are successful, we will even be thinking about Bar al Ghazal or Warab or Bar al Ghazal or even South Sudan as a whole. it can be done. But if we don't come together, then one hand cannot clap. Again, Lagos State Media team, thank you so much. And my show will end here. Highly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Peter Mathon Achuoth. And I would like also, on behalf of Lagos State Media, to thank all Gogrial Diaspora Community Electoral Committee in general for the good job that you people are doing and the commitment to serve the community in general, to bring people together. Because now we are in 21st century, social media can bring all of us in one place or in one village where we can hear each other. We can do anything so fast, not like some centuries ago. So you people, we are proud of you, and that is the reason of Lagos State Media is created. We are the platform to be used in such a good thing that can benefit others, to bring them up in a useful way, not to damage others or to doing that. So we are using this platform for good thing to the community that can pay back. So we have to say thank you so much. The platform is open to all of you, all South Sudanese. That is why we call ourselves, we are beyond boundaries. We have no boundary. We are a social media platform that has no boundaries. So feel free at any time, and everybody, sons and daughters of Gogrial community in diaspora and back home, please, if you're interested to be a part of this good association, to be in the history of creating such a thing, please don't hesitate to email your questions or your requests. If you need application form, to that email shown to you in the screen. Just write down that email and send your request there to Secretary General for their great job. So we will end up the show here. We will catch up again with more things to come. Thank you so much. Gogrial Epandilawi. Damanda Grial, Damabukush for Gogrial.
Thank you.
Gogrial one and quality. Gogrial follow quality. Gogrial one and quality. Gogrial follow quality. Gogrial gallery by Vanda, gallery and pan quality. Then Gogrial gallery by Vanda, gallery and pan quality. Najam and Layan Pinum Gapolani. Kajaya Gamal and Dong, Gogrial Panda, pan quality. Najam and Layan Lupina, Gapolani. Kajaya Gamal and Dong, Gogrial Panda, pan quality. Gogrial Poli Panamati, Kuala with Gogrial Poli Panamati, Kuala with Najam and Layan Pinum Gapolani. Kajaya Gamal and Dong, Gogrial Panda, pan quality. Gogrial Gallery by Vanda, Gallery
We Santo Man Kolnyang Mike Cholgrangawan Yupit Luping Yarul Pandiri Chet Maniel Anaketon Niel Jilo Wenetona Dol. I think a kick, Kega Buka, God, Anyalia, Kubika, Tingrin, Gemanalia, when I Jangarong, I Jedu, Kega Parandi, Madina Maja, Kubo, Makur, Kega Bolikan, Kuai Tatian, Wagaridin, Kegela, Geman, when you go to your. I think a kick, Kega Buka, God, Anyalia, Kubika, Tingrin, Gemanalia, when I Jangarong, I Jedu, Kega Parandi, Madina Maja, Kubo, Makur, Kega Bolikan.